You trusted them. Didn't you? Gave it your heart, your time, your faith. And what did they do? They broke it. They shattered the very pieces of your soul that you handed to them with love and care. I know it feels like your world has come undone. I know it feels like you can't breathe under the weight of that pain. But let me tell you something, the chapter where they hurt you is over. They hurt you. They broke something inside of you that you didn't think could ever be fixed. The betrayal, the lies, the disregard for your feelings that left you reeling. I know what it feels like to sit in that darkness, to relive the moments over and over again in your mind, wondering how it all went wrong, wondering what you could have done differently. You trusted them, opened yourself up, and gave them a part of you. And they used it. They abused it. They tossed it aside like it was nothing. That kind of pain, it cuts deep, doesn't it? It leaves a scar that you're certain will never fade. But here's the truth you need to hear. The chapter where they hurt you is over. That moment, those days, those years, they're gone. They can't reach out from the past and pull you back into that place unless you allow it. And I know that's easier said than done, but you have to understand this, it's not happening anymore. It's not happening now. It's done. Finished. And while the echoes of that pain might still linger, they no longer have the power to write your story. Think about it. What happens when you keep rereading the same painful chapter of a book? You get stuck. You don't move forward. You miss the rest of the story because you're busy reliving in the worst part. But you have the pen now. You are the author of what comes next. The chapter where they hurt you is over because you survived it. You're still here, you're still breathing, and that means something. That means that they didn't win. You see, pain has this way of tricking us. It convinces us that it's permanent, that it's all-encompassing, that it will never end. But pain is a visitor. It's not a resident. It's a storm, not the sky. And just like any storm, it passes. The sky is clear. The sun comes out again. The only way pain continues to hold power over you is if you keep inviting it back in, if you keep giving it a seat at the table. But why would you do that? Why would you give your past permission to control your present? They hurt you. Yes, they did. But they don't have the ability to keep hurting you unless you let their actions define you. And let me tell you something, you are not defined by the way someone else treated you. You are not defined by their lies, their betrayal, or their cruelty. Their actions are a reflection of who they are, not who you are. So if you're carrying the weight of their wrongs as if it's your burden to bear, I need you to let it go. I need you to lay it down and walk away because it was never yours to carry in the first place. You might feel like you've lost a part of yourself because of what they did. But the beautiful thing about being human is that you're not static. You're not stuck as the person you were when they hurt you. You can grow. You can rebuild. You can reclaim every single piece of yourself that they tried to take away. In fact, you can become even stronger because of it. Pain, when you let it, can be a powerful teacher. It can show you your strength, your resilience, your capacity to endure and to rise. But none of that can happen if you stay stuck in the chapter where they hurt you. None of that can happen if you keep replaying the scenes in your head, analyzing every detail, wishing for a different outcome. You have to accept that what's done is done. You have to accept that their role in your story has ended. And accepting that doesn't mean you're excusing what they did. It doesn't mean you're saying it was okay. It means you're choosing to move forward. It means you're choosing to take control of your life again. You don't owe them anything, not your forgiveness, not your understanding, not your continued suffering. The only person you owe anything to is yourself. You owe it to yourself to heal. You owe it to yourself to stop reopening wounds that are trying to close. You owe it to yourself to turn the page and start a new chapter. Because as long as you stay in the chapter where they hurt you, you're letting them dictate your story. And they don't deserve that power. They don't deserve to have that kind of control over you. Think about what you want your life to look like. Think about the kind of person you want to be, the kind of happiness you want to feel, the kind of peace you want to have. None of that can happen if you're still holding on to the pain of the past. You have to let it go. Not for them, but for you. Because the chapter where they hurt you is over. It's over. And the only way it can keep hurting you is if you keep living in it. You have a choice to make. You can either let the pain define you or you can let it refine you. You can either let it hold you down or you can use it as a stepping stone to rise higher than you ever thought possible. The chapter where they hurt you is over, and now it's up to you to decide what comes next. It's up to you to write the next chapter. And I promise you it can be a beautiful one. It can be a chapter full of growth, healing, and strength. But only if you're willing to close the door on the chapter that's already ended. The past cannot be changed. What happened cannot be undone. But your future is unwritten. Your future is wide open. And the only way to step into it is to leave the past where it belongs behind you. They don't get to hurt you anymore. They don't get to have that power over you, because the chapter where they hurt you is over. Pain has a way of embedding itself deep within us, convincing us that it defines who we are. When someone hurts you, it's easy to internalize that pain, to believe that somehow you were deserving of it, that you were flawed, unworthy, or inadequate. That's the lie pain whispers over and over again until it becomes a deafening roar. But let me tell you this, pain is not who you are. Pain is a moment. It's a lesson. It's a temporary chapter in the story of your life, not the title of the book. When they hurt you, they planted a seed of doubt in your heart, doubt about your value, your choices, maybe even your ability to be loved or respected. That seed can grow quickly if you're not careful, taking root in the soil of your insecurities and feeding off every negative thought you've ever had about yourself. It's easy to let that happen, to nurture that seed without even realizing it. But you have to remember, pain is a liar. It tells you that you are small, that you are broken, that you are less. But nothing could be further from the truth. The hurt you experienced was real. The betrayal, the rejection, the disrespect that happened. And you have every right to feel the weight of it. You have every right to grieve, to cry, to scream, to question why it happened. But here's what you need to understand. Just because something hurt you, just because someone treated you poorly, doesn't mean it's a reflection of your worth. Their actions were about them, not about you. People hurt others because they are hurting themselves, because they are broken in ways they don't know how to fix, because they see the world through a lens of fear, anger, or selfishness. That doesn't make what they did okay, but it does mean that their pain doesn't have to become your identity. Pain is a teacher. It's harsh and unyielding, and it has lessons to offer if you're willing to listen. The hurt you feel can teach you about your boundaries, about what you will and will not tolerate in the future. It can teach you about your own resilience, about the strength you didn't even know you had until you had no choice but to dig deep and find it. It can teach you about self-love, about the importance of valuing yourself enough to walk away from people or situations that don't honor you. These are the lessons pain offers, and while they are difficult to learn, they are also invaluable. But for pain to teach you, you have to stop letting it define you. You have to stop seeing yourself as the sum of your wounds and start seeing yourself as someone who is capable of healing. You are not your pain. You are not your scars. You are not the worst thing that has ever happened to you. You are so much more than that. You are the love you've given, the kindness you've shown, the dreams you've pursued, the strength you've displayed in the face of adversity. Pain doesn't define you, it refines you if you let it. When you carry pain with you as if it's a part of who you are, you give it power. You allow it to color the way you see yourself, the way you see others, the way you see the world. It becomes a lens through which you view everything, and that lens distorts reality. It makes you believe you're not good enough, that you'll never find happiness, that you're destined to be hurt again and again. But that's the illusion pain creates. It's not the truth. The truth is that you are whole, even if you don't feel like it right now. The truth is that you are worthy, even if someone else failed to see it. The truth is that you have the power to create a life that is beautiful and fulfilling no matter what has happened in the past. Pain is not meant to be carried forever. It's meant to be felt, acknowledged, and then released. But so often we hold on to it. We clutch it tightly because it feels like letting go would somehow invalidate what we went through. It feels like if we stop feeling the pain, we're saying it didn't matter, that it didn't hurt. But letting go isn't about forgetting or minimizing what happened. It's about freeing yourself from the weight of it. It's about choosing to move forward, to live your life without the shadow of that pain looming over you. You might be thinking, but it's not that simple. I can't just let it go. And you're right. Letting go is a process. It's a journey, not a destination. It requires effort, patience, and self-compassion. It requires you to face the pain, to sit with it, to understand it, and then to release it piece by piece. But it's worth it. Because every step you take away from the pain is a step toward freedom. Every piece of the hurt you let go of creates space for something better: joy, love, peace, hope. Pain can feel like a permanent part of you, like it's etched into your very being. But it's not. It's a visitor, not a resident. It's a storm, not the sky. And just like any storm, it will pass if you allow it to. The sun will come out again. The skies will clear, but you have to be willing to let go of the clouds, to stop clinging to the rain, to step into the light. Pain may have touched you, but it doesn't own you. It doesn't define you. It doesn't have the final say in who you are or what your life will be. You are not the product of your pain. You are the product of your healing, of your growth, of your ability to rise above what tried to break you. You are the phoenix that rises from the ashes, the diamond that emerges from the pressure, the warrior that stands tall after the battle. Pain might have shaped you in some ways, but it doesn't have to dictate your future. It doesn't have to be the lens through which you see yourself or your life. The hurt you feel is real. The pain you've endured is valid, but it's not who you are. It's a moment, not a lifetime. It's a lesson, not a definition. You have the power to choose how you respond to that pain, how you carry it, how you let it shape you. You have the power to reclaim your identity, to see yourself not as someone who was hurt, but as someone who is healing. You have the power to let go of the lies pain tells you and to embrace the truth of your worth, your strength, your resilience. Reclaiming your power after someone has hurt you is not just about standing tall or putting on a brave face. It's about something far deeper. It's about understanding that your worth does not hinge on how others treat you. It's about deciding once and for all that you will no longer allow someone else's actions, words, or behavior to dictate how you feel about yourself. It's about recognizing that the key to your peace and happiness lies in the boundaries you create, the walls you build to protect your heart, and the strength you develop to say no more. Reclaiming your power after someone has hurt you is not just about standing tall or putting on a brave face. It's about something far deeper. It's about understanding that your worth does not hinge on how others treat you. It's about deciding once and for all that you will no longer allow someone else's actions, words, or behavior to dictate how you feel about yourself. It's about recognizing that the key to your peace and happiness lies in the boundaries you create, the walls you build to protect your heart, and the strength you develop to say no more. When someone hurts you, it's natural to feel vulnerable. They've breached a part of you that you thought was safe. They've crossed a line you never thought anyone would cross. And in that moment, it feels as though your power has been taken away, as though they've snatched something precious from your soul. That feeling of helplessness, of being exposed, can linger long after the actual act of hurt is over. But here's the truth: they didn't take your power. They can't take your power. Only you can give it away. And reclaiming it is about choosing not to let that happen ever again. Setting boundaries is not about building walls so high that no one can reach you. It's about defining what you will and will not accept. It's about creating a space where your peace is non-negotiable. It's about standing firm in your belief that you deserve to be treated with respect, kindness, and dignity. Boundaries are not about keeping people out. They're about keeping yourself safe. They're about ensuring that you are not drained, disrespected, or devalued by others. And setting those boundaries is one of the most powerful ways you can reclaim your power. Boundaries are not always easy to establish, especially if you've spent a lifetime putting others' needs ahead of your own. You might feel guilty for saying no or for distancing yourself from people who continually hurt you. But guilt is not your guide, your peace is. And peace cannot exist where there is constant turmoil, disrespect, or pain. It's not selfish to protect yourself, it's necessary. It's not cruel to distance yourself from those who bring chaos into your life. It's courageous. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and you cannot live your fullest life when you're constantly allowing others to take from you without giving anything in return. Reclaiming your power also means understanding that forgiveness and boundaries can coexist. Forgiveness is not about letting someone off the hook for their actions. It's not about saying what they did was okay. Forgiveness is about releasing the hold that their actions have on your heart. It's about freeing yourself from the burden of anger, resentment, and bitterness. But forgiveness does not mean that you have to allow that person back into your life. Forgiveness does not mean you have to remove the boundaries you've put in place. You can forgive someone and still choose to love them from a distance. You can forgive someone and still decide that their presence in your life is not healthy or beneficial. Taking back your power means learning to trust yourself again. When someone hurts you, it can shake your confidence in your own judgment. You might second guess your choices, wondering how you didn't see the red flags or how you allowed yourself to be vulnerable with someone who didn't deserve it. But blaming yourself only gives more power to the person who hurt you. It keeps you stuck in a cycle of self-doubt and regret. Instead, recognize that trusting someone is not a flaw, it's a strength. Being open and vulnerable is not a weakness, it's a testament to your courage and your capacity to love. The actions of others are not a reflection of your worth, they are a reflection of their character. To reclaim your power, you have to stop seeking validation from those who have shown they cannot give it. It's human nature to want approval, to crave acceptance, to seek love and affirmation. But when you seek those things from people who are incapable of giving them, you set yourself up for disappointment and heartache. Your worth is not dependent on someone else's recognition of it. Your value is not diminished because someone failed to see it. The opinions of others, especially those who have hurt you, do not define who you are. You define who you are. You decide your worth. And the moment you stop looking for external validation and start finding it within yourself, you take back a piece of your power. Reclaiming your power also requires letting go of the need for revenge or justice. When someone hurts you, it's natural to want them to feel the same pain you felt. You want them to understand the depth of the hurt they caused. But holding on to that desire only keeps you tethered to them. It keeps you locked in a cycle of anger and resentment, giving them a place in your mind and heart that they don't deserve. True power comes from letting go. True power comes from choosing to focus on your own healing, your own growth, your own happiness. It's about recognizing that the best revenge is living a life that is full, joyful, and unbothered by those who tried to bring you down. Taking back your power also means redefining your narrative. When someone hurts you, it's easy to let that moment define your story. It's easy to see yourself as a victim, to view your life through the lens of that pain. But you are not just what happened to you. You are what you choose to become after it. You are the resilience that rises from the ashes. You are the courage that steps forward despite the fear. You are the strength that refuses to be broken. Your story is not about the hurt, they are just a footnote. Your story is about how you overcame, how you grew, how you transformed pain into power. Reclaiming your power means taking responsibility for your healing. It means recognizing that while you may not have been responsible for the hurt, you are responsible for what happens next. You are responsible for your own peace, your own happiness, your own future. And that responsibility is not a burden, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to create a life that is free from the shadows of the past, a life that is filled with the love, joy, and respect you deserve. Healing is not about forgetting what happened, it's about reclaiming the parts of yourself that were lost, damaged, or hidden away. It's about finding strength in your scars and allowing them to be a testament to your resilience. To reclaim your power, you must make peace with the fact that not everyone will understand your journey. Not everyone will support your boundaries, your choices, or your healing. Some people may try to make you feel guilty for prioritizing yourself. Some may accuse you of being selfish or unkind, but their opinions do not matter. You do not owe anyone an explanation for choosing to protect your peace. You do not owe anyone access to your life, your heart, or your energy, especially if they have proven they do not deserve it. Your power lies in knowing that you are enough, that you are worthy, that you are whole, regardless of what others think or say. Reclaiming your power is not an overnight process. It's a journey, a series of small but significant steps. It's about choosing yourself over and over again, even when it feels uncomfortable or unfamiliar. It's about standing firm in your worth, even when others try to diminish it. It's about refusing to let the actions of others dictate the course of your life. It's about recognizing that your power has always been yours. It's just been waiting for you to claim it. Letting go of anger and resentment is one of the hardest things you will ever have to do after being hurt. But it's also one of the most liberating. Anger feels like armor. It feels like a protective layer you can wear to shield yourself from the vulnerability of the pain that lies beneath it. Resentment feels like justice, a way to hold on to the wrong that was done to you so it won't be forgotten or dismissed. But anger and resentment are not shields, they are chains. They bind you to the very person or situation that hurt you, keeping you trapped in a cycle of bitterness and pain. When you hold on to anger, it becomes a part of you. It seeps into your thoughts, your actions, your relationships, and even your sense of self. It convinces you that you are justified in your bitterness, that holding on to that pain gives you power. But anger doesn't give you power, it takes it away. It consumes your energy, your focus, and your peace of mind. It keeps you tethered to the past, replaying moments of hurt over and over again in your mind as if reliving them will somehow change what happened, but it doesn't. All it does is keep the wound open, preventing it from healing. Letting go of anger is not about excusing the person who hurt you. It's not about saying what they did was acceptable or that it didn't matter. Letting go of anger is about freeing yourself from the grip of that emotion, about choosing to prioritize your peace over your pain. It's about deciding that you will no longer let what someone else did dictate how you feel, how you think, or how you live your life. It's about reclaiming the parts of yourself that anger has taken over and saying no more. Resentment, like anger, can feel like a way to hold someone accountable for their actions. It can feel like a form of justice, a way to ensure that the hurt they caused is not forgotten. But resentment is a poison that you drink, hoping it will harm the other person. It doesn't. The person who hurts you may not even be aware of the depth of your resentment, or if they are, they may not care. Meanwhile, you carry the weight of that emotion, allowing it to fester within you, to darken your perspective, and to steal your joy. And letting go of resentment is not about forgetting what happened. It's about choosing not to let it control you any longer. It's about recognizing that holding on to that bitterness is only hurting you, not the person who caused it. It's about acknowledging the pain, honoring your feelings, and then releasing them so that you can move forward. Resentment ties you to the past, but letting go allows you to step into the present and embrace the possibilities of the future. One of the reasons it's so hard to let go of anger and resentment is because they can feel like forms of protection. They can feel like barriers that keep you from being hurt again. But true protection doesn't come from holding on to negative emotions. It comes from healing, from setting boundaries, from learning to trust yourself again. When you let go of anger and resentment, you're not making yourself vulnerable, you're making yourself strong. You're choosing to focus your energy on your own growth and happiness rather than on the actions of someone who didn't value you. Another reason we hold on to anger and resentment is the fear that letting go will mean the pain didn't matter, that it will be forgotten or dismissed. But letting go is not about invalidating your pain, it's about honoring it. It's about recognizing that your feelings were valid, that your hurt was real, and then choosing not to let it define you. Your pain mattered, but it doesn't have to be the centerpiece of your story. You can acknowledge it, learn from it, and then move forward with the wisdom and strength it gave you. Letting go also requires forgiveness, and forgiveness can be one of the most misunderstood concepts. Forgiveness is not about condoning what someone did or allowing them back into your life. Forgiveness is about freeing yourself from the emotional burden of their actions. It's about choosing to release the anger and resentment that have been weighing you down. It's about saying, I will no longer allow your actions to have power over me. Forgiveness is not for the person who hurt you, it's for you. It's a gift you give yourself, a way to reclaim your peace and your power. Forgiveness doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, a journey that requires time, patience, and self-compassion. It's okay to feel angry, to feel hurt, to feel resentful in the aftermath of being wrong. Those feelings are natural and valid. But there comes a point when holding on to them is no longer serving you, when they are doing more harm than good. At that point, it's up to you to decide that you're ready to let go, to forgive, and to move forward. It's not an easy decision, but it's a necessary one if you want to reclaim your peace and your joy. One of the most powerful ways to let go of anger and resentment is to focus on your own healing and growth. Instead of dwelling on what was done to you, focus on what you can do for yourself. Invest your energy in activities that bring you joy, in relationships that uplift you, and in practices that nourish your mind, body, and spirit. The more you pour into yourself, the less room there will be for negative emotions to take hold. Healing is not about forgetting the pain, it's about transforming it into something that serves you, rather than something that holds you back. Letting go also involves shifting your perspective. Instead of seeing yourself as a victim of someone else's actions, see yourself as a survivor, as someone who has the strength to overcome adversity. Instead of focusing on what you lost, focus on what you gained: wisdom, resilience, clarity about what you want and don't want in your life. Every experience, no matter how painful, has the potential to teach you something valuable. When you choose to see the lessons in your pain, you take a step toward letting go of the anger and resentment that keep you stuck. It's important to remember that letting go is not a linear process. There will be days when you feel like you've made progress and days when the anger and resentment resurface. That's okay. Healing is not a straight path, it's a winding road with ups and downs. Be patient with yourself. Allow yourself to feel what you feel, but don't let those feelings define you. Acknowledge them, sit with them, and then gently remind yourself that you are working toward freedom, toward peace, toward a life that is not defined by the actions of someone who hurt you. Letting go of anger and resentment also means taking responsibility for your own happiness. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that you can't move forward until the person who hurt you apologizes or makes amends. But waiting for closure from someone else gives them power over your happiness. Closure is something you create for yourself. It's a decision to let go, to forgive, to move on, not because they deserve it, but because you do. You deserve to be free from the weight of anger and resentment. You deserve to live a life that is not overshadowed by the pain of the past. Releasing anger and resentment doesn't mean you won't feel pain or sadness about what happened. Those feelings are a natural part of the healing process. But it does mean that you won't let those emotions control you. It means you won't let them dictate your choices, your relationships, or your future. It means you'll choose to focus on the good in your life, on the things that bring you joy and fulfillment, rather than on the hurt that someone else caused. It's about shifting your energy from the negative to the positive, from the past to the present, from pain to possibility. Healing after being hurt is a deeply personal and transformative journey. It's not something that happens overnight or follows a neat timeline. It's a process filled with highs and lows, breakthroughs and setbacks. One moment you may feel as though you've finally moved on, only to be pulled back into the emotions of anger, sadness, or regret the next. That's the nature of healing. It's a winding road, not a straight path. And the first step on that road is understanding that healing is not about erasing the hurt, but about learning to live with it, to grow from it, and to eventually find peace despite it. When you're hurt, the wound isn't just emotional, it's psychological, spiritual, and then sometimes even physical. It can feel as though a part of you has been broken, as though something you trusted has been shattered. That pain can be overwhelming, and it's tempting to want to suppress it, to push it away, to pretend it doesn't exist. But healing doesn't come from avoidance. Healing comes from facing that pain head on, from sitting with it, acknowledging it, and allowing yourself to feel it fully. Pain is a signal that something needs attention, and when you give it the space to be heard, you begin the process of healing. Healing also requires self-compassion. When you've been hurt, it's easy to blame yourself. You may find yourself replaying the events in your mind, wondering what you could have done differently, questioning your own judgment, or berating yourself for trusting the wrong person. But self-blame only deepens the wound. It keeps you stuck in a cycle of regret and self-doubt, preventing you from moving forward. Self-compassion, on the other hand, allows you to forgive yourself. It reminds you that you're human, that you're allowed to make mistakes, and that you deserve kindness and understanding even from yourself. Self-compassion is not about excusing your actions, but about recognizing that you did the best you could with the knowledge and resources you had at the time. Part of healing is accepting that you cannot control other people's actions, only your response to them. When someone hurts you, it's natural to want an apology, an explanation, or some form of accountability from them. But waiting for those things can keep you stuck in the pain. Some people may never acknowledge the hurt they caused, and others may not be capable of giving you the closure you need. Healing means letting go of the need for validation from the person who hurt you. It's about finding closure within yourself, about deciding that your peace is more important than their acknowledgement of their wrongdoing. One of the most powerful tools in the healing process is forgiveness, but forgiveness is often misunderstood. It's not about condoning what happened or pretending it didn't hurt. It's not about letting the person who hurt you off the hook. Forgiveness is about freeing yourself from the hold that their actions have on you. It's about saying, I will not let this define me. I will not let this control me. Forgiveness is an act of strength, not weakness. It's a choice to prioritize your own well-being over your anger or resentment. And forgiveness doesn't have to happen all at once. It's a process that unfolds in its own time, and it's okay to take it one step at a time. Healing also involves reclaiming your narrative. When someone hurts you, it's easy to let their actions become the centerpiece of your story. You may find yourself defining your life in terms of that pain, seeing yourself as a victim of their behavior. But healing means taking back control of your story. It means recognizing that while the hurt is a part of your experience, it does not define who you are. You are more than the pain you've endured. You are the strength that has carried you through it, the resilience that has kept you moving forward, and the hope that has allowed you to envision a life beyond the hurt. Your story is yours to tell, and you have the power to decide how it unfolds. Another critical aspect of healing is setting boundaries. When you've been hurt, it's essential to create space for yourself to recover. That may mean distancing yourself from the person who hurt you or even cutting ties with them entirely. It may mean saying no to situations or relationships that don't serve your well-being. Boundaries are not about shutting people out. They're about protecting your peace and prioritizing your needs. They're about creating an environment where you feel safe, respected, and valued. Setting boundaries is an act of self-love, a way of saying I deserve better, and I won't settle for less. Healing also requires patience. It's easy to feel frustrated with yourself when the pain lingers longer than you think it should. You may wonder why you can't just get over it or why certain triggers still bring up old emotions. But healing doesn't have a timeline. It's not a linear process, and there's no right or wrong way to go through it. Some days will be easier than others, and that's okay. What matters is that you keep moving forward, even if it's one small step at a time. Healing is not about forgetting what happened, it's about learning to live with it in a way that no longer controls you. One of the most transformative parts of healing is rediscovering yourself. When you're hurt, it can feel as though you've lost a part of yourself. You may feel disconnected from the person you used to be or uncertain about who you are now. But healing is an opportunity to reconnect with yourself, to explore your passions, interests, and values. It's a chance to rebuild your sense of identity and to create a life that reflects who you are and what you want. Healing is not just about recovering from the hurt, it's about growing beyond it, about becoming a stronger, wiser, and more authentic version of yourself. Another important aspect of healing is allowing yourself to feel joy again. When you've been hurt, it's easy to feel guilty for being happy or to believe that joy is no longer possible. But joy is not something you have to earn, it's something you deserve simply because you exist. Healing means giving yourself permission to experience happiness, to laugh, to love, to dream. It means recognizing that your pain does not have to overshadow every aspect of your life, that there is still beauty and goodness to be found, even in the midst of healing. Joy is a powerful antidote to pain, and embracing it is an essential part of the healing process. Healing also involves seeking support. You don't have to go through it alone. Whether it's talking to a trusted friend, seeking guidance from a therapist, or joining a support group, reaching out for help can make a world of difference. Sometimes the perspective of someone outside of the situation can help you see things more clearly. And sometimes just knowing that someone else understands what you're going through can be incredibly comforting. There is strength in vulnerability, and asking for help is not a sign of weakness, it's a testament to your courage and your commitment to healing. Ultimately, healing is about reclaiming your power. It's about deciding that your life will not be defined by the hurt you've experienced. It's about choosing to rise above the pain, to grow from it, and to use it as fuel for your journey forward. Healing is not about erasing the scars, it's about wearing them as a badge of honor. A reminder of your resilience and your ability to overcome. It's about finding the strength to love again, to trust again, and to hope again, even after being hurt. And while the process may be challenging, it's also deeply rewarding because it leads to a life that is richer, fuller, and more authentic than you ever thought possible. Walking away from those who have hurt you is an act of courage. It's not easy to leave behind the people or situations that once held significance in your life, even when they've caused you pain. There's a natural pull toward what's familiar, a hope that things might change, that they might wake up one day and see your worth. But walking away is not about giving up, it's about choosing yourself. It's about saying, I deserve better and I won't accept less. It's about valuing your peace, your dignity, and your self-worth over the false comfort of staying in a place where you're not valued or respected. Walking away doesn't mean you didn't care. It doesn't mean you didn't try or that the connection you shared wasn't real. It means you've recognized that caring for someone doesn't mean tolerating mistreatment. It means you've realized that love, whether it's romantic, platonic, or familial, should never come at the expense of your well-being. Walking away is not an act of spite or revenge, it's an act of self-love. It's a declaration that you will no longer allow someone else's actions to dictate your happiness. That you will no longer sacrifice yourself to maintain a connection that causes you harm. There's a misconception that walking away is the easy option, that it's what people do when they're too weak to stay and fight. But the truth is, walking away takes immense strength. It takes the strength to face the unknown, to let go of what's familiar, and to confront the fear of being alone. It takes the strength to stand up for yourself, to set boundaries, and to enforce them even when it's painful. It takes the strength to choose yourself, to prioritize your needs, and to believe that you are worthy of more. Walking away is not a sign of weakness, it's a testament to your courage and your self-respect. Walking away also means breaking free from the cycle of hurt. When someone continues to hurt you, staying only perpetuates the pain. It allows the behavior to continue and sends the message that their actions are acceptable. Walking away, on the other hand, disrupts the cycle. It sets a clear boundary that says it's not okay and I will not tolerate it. It's a way of protecting yourself from further harm and taking control of your own happiness. It's a way of breaking free from the patterns that have kept you stuck and opening the door to a healthier, more fulfilling life. One of the hardest parts of walking away is letting go of the hope that things will change. It's natural to want to believe that the person who hurt you will see the error of their ways, that they'll change and become the person you hope they could be. But sometimes the best thing you can do is accept that they are who they are, and that their behavior is not a reflection of your worth. Walking away doesn't mean you've given up hope, it means you've shifted your hope towards something better. It means you've chosen to invest in your own happiness rather than waiting for someone else to change. Walking away is also an act of faith. It's a leap into the unknown, a step into a future that's uncertain but full of potential. It's a decision to trust that there is something better waiting for you, even if you can't see it yet. It's a belief in your own strength and resilience, in your ability to create a life that brings you joy and fulfillment. Walking away is not about running from the past, it's about walking toward a brighter future. It's about choosing to believe in yourself and your ability to heal, grow, and thrive. Walking away doesn't mean you won't feel pain. In fact, it often brings up a wave of emotions: grief, anger, sadness, and even guilt. You may question your decision, wondering if you did the right thing or if you could have done more to make things work. But these feelings are a natural part of the process. They're a sign that you cared, that the connection mattered to you. The pain of walking away is temporary, but the peace and freedom it brings are lasting. It's okay to grieve the loss, to honor the emotions that come up, and to give yourself the time and space to heal. Walking away also requires letting go of the need for closure. Sometimes, the person who hurt you won't give you the answers or the apology you're looking for. They may never acknowledge the pain they caused or take responsibility for their actions. But waiting for closure from someone else can keep you stuck in the hurt. Walking away means finding closure within yourself. It means deciding that you don't need their validation to move forward. It means choosing to release the pain even if they never acknowledge it. Closure is not something they can give you, it's something you create for yourself. Walking away is also a declaration of your worth. It's a way of saying, I deserve to be treated with respect and kindness, and I will not settle for anything less. It's a way of affirming your value and refusing to tolerate behavior that undermines it. Walking away is an act of empowerment, a way of reclaiming your voice and your power. It's a reminder that you are not defined by how others treat you, but by how you treat yourself. It's an opportunity to set the standard for how you want to be treated, not just by others, but by yourself. Walking away also opens the door to new opportunities. When you let go of what no longer serves you, you create space for something better to come into your life. It may be a healthier relationship, a new passion, or a deeper connection with yourself. Walking away is not an ending, it's a beginning. It's a chance to start fresh, to build a life that aligns with your values and brings you joy. It's an opportunity to rediscover yourself, to explore your dreams and aspirations, and to create a future that reflects who you truly are. Walking away doesn't mean you're forgetting the past. The experiences you've been through are a part of your story and they've shaped who you are. But walking away means choosing not to let the past define your future. It means learning from the pain, taking the lessons it taught you, and using them to grow. It means recognizing that you are more than the hurt you've endured and that you have the power to create a life that is not defined by someone else's actions. Walking away is not about erasing the past, it's about honoring it and moving forward with strength and resilience. Walking away also means embracing the uncertainty of the journey ahead. It's a step into the unknown, and that can be scary. But it's also where growth happens. It's where you discover your strength, your resilience, and your ability to overcome challenges. Walking away is an act of bravery, a willingness to take a chance on yourself and your future. It's a recognition that staying in a place of hurt is not serving you, and that you have the power to create something better. It's a leap of faith, a trust in yourself and the possibilities that lie ahead. Walking away is not just about leaving someone or something behind, it's about walking toward yourself. It's about prioritizing your needs, your happiness, and your well-being. It's about choosing to invest in yourself, to nurture your dreams and passions, and to build a life that reflects your values. Walking away is an act of self-love, a commitment to honoring your worth and living in alignment with who you truly are. It's a decision to put yourself first, not out of selfishness, but out of a deep respect for your own humanity. This is your time to shine. This is your time to reclaim what's always been yours, your peace, your strength, your power. They hurt you once, but they will never hurt you again. Because you've got something they will never have the courage to rise above, the strength to move forward, and the wisdom to never look back.